Shalom, G. Just waiting to see if we get a couple people in here. They said we can get it. We can get at least 5 people. We'll get going. Shit, man, this chilly doggy. What's happening down y'all way? We should be about to shut it down, right? Let's see. We got 5 people. Okay. All right. Peace, everybody. And I guess I need to start saying my name when I get on the video. Jamal Robinson, 720astrology.com. And I want to have a quick discussion about the eclipse that's coming up in the sign of Pisces. Peace, y'all. Peace, refresh. Want to talk about this eclipse that's coming up on September 18th at 25 degrees of Pisces, and why I think it's significant in pushing us deeper into the age of Aquarius. And I took a couple of little notes here so I could kind of guide myself and not forget as much as I usually do when I get on here talking. But I hope all is well with you all out there in internet land on this auspicious Friday the 13th. You know, the 13 is a powerful number. If you look into it, it is not unlucky. Maybe it's unlucky for certain energies, but 13 is a powerful number. Very significant. I got a lot of 13s in my chart. A lot of people, significant people in my life born on the 13th. But anyway, I want to start off with this. I got my traveling office today, my traveling classroom. I got me this little board off of Amazon. So my people who rock with me at 720 Sacred Teachings, this is where some of your funds go. They go for stuff like this. They go for stuff like this. Like I just got this book in, The Hermetic Science of Motion and Number. You know, they allow me to continue my studies, which benefits those in the group and just the general collective who get these videos here for free on YouTube. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with, take the word Aquarius. And these are 2 handouts out of my bundle. All right. And so one of them is this one. It is Hidden Astrological Etymology and Symbology. And I'm going to show you how we put this to work, to where it's not just a bunch of useless information. Whoever thought to just go through and take all the names in the zodiac and find the origin? So we know Aquarius is the water bearer, all right? So, but let's go and dig deeper into this root that Aquarius comes from, which is aqua, which is, again, points back to water. But if we go a little deeper, you can see on the other side here, we go and start going a little deeper into the symbolism behind this. All right. And so Aquarius, the water bearer. Listen to some of these keywords. The great abyss, the mirror of perfecting truth. The mirror is the vessel that bears the image of the great mother, i.e. the soul. There are two mirrors, where the bliss reflected lie the Son of Heaven and the Spirit Son Most High. One mirror is the seer over which no storm wind blows. The other is the mind that no unquiet knows. The mirror is the smile. So in other words, Aquarius is an air sign, but Aquarius has aqueous, as its namesake suggests, has aqueous principles about it. Aquarius is carrying water. And so when we move into the age of Aquarius, we are looking into the mirror, which is our own soul, to see what is being reflected. This is just this. We're taking a word that we normally just assume its meaning based on, oh, Aquarius, this is the age of Aquarius and knowledge. Okay, well, we know all, but what if we go a little deeper and dig more into the symbolism through the etymology to get closer to what was intended when this archetype emerged? That's the point of taking this type of approach, to get closer to the archetype, to understand it. So if I'm looking into a mirror, like I'm looking into my phone right now, I see my reflection coming back at me. I have to know who is looking into the mirror first. Meaning I have to have some type of identity to even have anything to be reflected back. Now, what's interesting is that Aquarius is an air sign, although it is carrying water. It's bearing the water in the air. So, sidebar. It could possibly be that Aquarius can elevate the emotion, which Aquarius appears to be aloof sometimes, but maybe the aloofness is the air quality of Aquarius, which is carrying the emotion, but it's not controlled by the emotion. Because it is bearing the emotion, but it's not controlled. It is bearing the emotion. The emotion is not bearing it. It's a sidebar. But for Aquarius to have an image, which is talking about something seen, there must be a fire that is lit. There must be a fire that is lit. Now you might be thinking, what the hell is he talking about? In the zodiac, which house is associated with Aquarius? It's the 11th house. So the looking into the mirror could be associated with the 11th house, which symbolically, beyond just it being friendship and community and future endeavors and things we look to attain, 11th house. The 11th house is also the reception of love. The 5th house, which is Leo's domicile, which is the expression of love, is pleasure, giving pleasure, romance, joy. It is the house of children. And to be joyous is to be like a child. And it is to shine. The Leo is the sun. So giving love is shining the light. Well, that means the opposite sign, Aquarius, would be about the reception of the love, i.e., seeing myself in the mirror. The mirror is receiving my image and reflecting it back. So before I can have something to look at, I got to have the initial image, which emerged, which is a fire, which is Leo, which leads to this. The other handout, the fire exploration. Now, is this making sense? Peace Wise, Peace Shauna. Is this making sense where I'm coming from? I'm combining things. I just combined the etymology of the word with the astrological, the natural layout of the zodiac. Okay? All right, thank you, Refresh. It is I'm combining these so that we're taking the house that Aquarius is associated with always has to be spoken of in correlation to the house that it is in complement with, which is Leo. So if we see symbolically that Aquarius is about lines up with a mirror, and a mirror holds the image in water. Think about a narcissist who looked in the water to see his image. So the water is the initial or the first template of a mirror. Okay, arguably gives us a reflection, but there has to be a sentient something to come and look into the water to be able to see its reflection. So did I intrude on a class again? So it would behoove us to delve into fire, because fire is associated with one's identity, and fire is associated with the love of one's identity, but better yet, oneself. How can I love myself if I don't know myself, if I don't know my fire? And this is what the dance between Aquarius and Leo. Leo is security in myself, security in my fire. I know that the fire, that the fire is strong. Aries initiates the fire. Leo is the fire is burning strong. It's secure. Okay? And because of that, it can share its heat. So we look at fire to help us understand what we are in this world, which is a soul that was allowed to come into this dimension through friction, and that friction being between two opposing forces, which is why fire is associated with Christ energy or Christ consciousness, because it is above the two energies, the two competing energies that brought it into this world. It is the perfection, that's a better term. It's the perfection of the opposition that brought it about. When a man and a woman come together and cohabitate, it creates friction, because it brings two things that are polar opposites together, and they create something that has the potential to be perfect, which is fire. Now, what does all this have to do with the price of tea in China? Because we are already in the age of Aquarius by waves, but we are still moving in by continued waves and layers. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. And Aquarius, one of the key words, let's start listing some of the key words for Aquarius. Community. Friendship. Let's see, we got friendship. We got the future. We have innovation. We have freedom, keyword, very keyword. I'm an Aquarius sun. Best believe this is a very keyword. Freedom, freedom for Aquarius. We have, what's another keyword for Aquarius? Inventiveness for Aquarius. It is tribes. It is a culture. That's Aquarian. Culture is a behavior. What else for Aquarius? Oh man, the most important one. Which coincides with freedom. Individualism. And I know there's a million more that I could have come up with. Individualism. Now, let's think about what fire is. Fire, where you see fire, you automatically, it gets your attention. So your sense of individuality is your fire. So when you are secure in your fire, which is Leo, then you can receive love relative to the security you have in your own fire, Aquarius. Because the group that you associate with should be supportive of your individuality. That is Aquarius. Aquarius can seem aloof and standoffish, but truth be told, Aquarius is really about community. It's really about coming together, but not at the expense of my goddamn individuality. And I want to say that as a reminder of, as we move further into the age of Aquarius, it is important that we don't lose sight of what Aquarius represents. That we can come together and we can commune. But I have to maintain my sense of individuality, meaning my own personal fire. And the danger of the dark side of Aquarius is that the obsession with being a part of something and a community or a group or a tribe can lead to groupthink, where everybody has to think one way, which then annihilates one's own individuality and stifles one's own soul. Because a soul does not come here to be a puppet or to be a follower. The soul comes here to evolve its own fire, which by evolving its fire, it evolves the collective fire. So why am I bringing this up? Because on the 18th, we will have a lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Pisces. Why is that significant? Because it will be a quasi midpoint, not exact, but it'll be in the area enough to be effective. It'll be a midpoint between Pluto and Uranus. Uranus at 27 degrees retrograde, Pluto at 29 retrograde. Uranus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn, which puts Pisces at 20 and this includes Pisces too, is running between those two. But now this north node will come in and bridge those two energies. Now, Uranus is the modern ruler of the sign we've been talking about, which is Aquarius. Let's see. Which is Aquarius. And Pluto deals with secrets, things hidden. It deals with, it can be deceptive. The deception as in things being withheld. Neptune is deceptive as in lies or things being presented one way when it's another. It's just, that type of deception. So you got all this in play, and yes, they are harmonizing with each other, but they could be harmonized to use malefically. As in, I think that the North Node eclipse, lunar eclipse at 25 of Pisces, is going to further ramp up the energy of cults. Okay? Now, cult is the root of the word culture. And culture means behavior. So when I say cult, I mean which they have a euphemistic term for cults called intended behavior communities or intended living. So in other words, it is a designed way of behaving. Groupthink, the dark side of Aquarius. That is going to, I feel, is going to increase because Pisces, while it's a sign of spirituality, it's a sign of fusing with energy that is beyond this realm, which it's 8 billion, it's endless, these realms beyond this, but it's just the idea of merging with something beyond this. It's Neptune, which can cause confusion. The fusion can cause confusion. Okay, and Neptune is music, it's imagination, it is manifestation, but Neptune can also be religiosity, because Neptune can be belief. And so for those who are more prone to being religious, which many people have divorced their attachment to maybe one of these Abrahamic religions, but they still are religious in nature, meaning they still have the need to worship something or somebody. They still need to have an anthropomorphized deity here on earth that they need to follow and to be able to cast all their worries in the hand of that. And that is the Piscean tendency towards believing versus the Aquarian, which is knowing. So we got energies moving in different directions because I can't think of the term, the precession of the equinoxes. It's going this way as we're going this way. So we're moving, the equinoxes progress backwards through the zodiac. So we're moving from the age of Pisces into Aquarius. Now there's a master online. I don't know if he's still living. I hope he is, but I got a bunch of his books. His name is now I can't even. Oh man, Jabril. It'll come back to me. I got a bunch of his books, and now all of a sudden the name it escapes me. Malik Malik Jabbar. Malik Jabbar. Okay? And he's got a whole Gnostic Veil. He's got a book on a whole bunch of books that break down astronomical symbolism associated with religious beliefs. Okay? The astronomy behind him. He doesn't even consider himself to be an astrologer. He's giving you the astronomy, but it can show how the mythologies were created based on the astronomy. So he calculated using computer software that and this is for people who associate the Earth's movement with a wobble and not being flat. So the wobble, the Earth has its North Pole axis goes up through what's called a circumpolar hub, and that hub connects with the signs of the zodiac. So as the Earth wobbles, it'll stay in one sign for around 2,160 years, and then as it wobbles, it'll move into the next sign. So, and this wobble is going backwards against the zodiac, and so that means, according to his software, we officially are in Aquarius in the year 2034. Okay? That's the official entry into the age of Aquarius. Now, we know that big, long energies like this, they just don't happen on a day. They happen for years, for decades. It could be hundreds of years where you feel the wave of the shift coming as you move from one age to another. So we're already in Aquarius, but he just did that to give a more definite, calculated perspective of the age of Aquarius. This is not supposed to be the age of following and believing. Now, and I know, and and I'm gonna tell you, there's funny stuff going on with my channel. Funny stuff going on, but it might be contradictory to the fact that, hey, I'm on the internet, which is associated with Uranus too, and Aquarius. I'm on the internet saying whatever. I added my little 2 cents. It's not really, from a business standpoint, it doesn't behoove me to talk down against followers. But being the fact that I cannot front and lie, I got to just say, look, I've always been not fit in. So fuck it. I might as well just be real and be honest, and whoever respects what I do, they're going to come around, they're going to rock with me. Who don't, so what? The bottom line is, we're not supposed to be followers. You ain't supposed to be following me. It's just the gospel. It is what it is. You're not supposed to be following nobody at this point. Nobody's supposed to be your intercessory between you and whatever you believe in or is beyond you. It ain't supposed to be. That ain't what time it is. That's Piscean. So many have given up their one religion and they've picked up another because this one is cooler. But you still are religious. You're still bound. And so the age of Aquarius is supposed to be about you learning how to think, maneuver, mature, and grow yourself. Fuck following anybody, including me. The people in my group, they ain't fucking following me. One of my clients told me yesterday, one of the things that made me feel so damn good, she said she was listening to somebody and they said some word and they said what the word meant. She's like, I don't know. She said, something in my spirit just said, I don't know. So I started looking into it myself. That's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be the master student. Meaning you're supposed to be learning how to learn, learning how to teach yourself, learning how to study. And so the best thing anyone can give you is tools to help you study, not telling you what to think, what to feel. No, this is the age of learning how to develop your thoughts. Learn how to develop your feelings. Learn how to understand your emotions. How to not be controlled by your emotions, like the world's being controlled right now by their goddamn emotions. Throw all your logic out. Have we forgotten what the Aquarian age means? This dance between Pluto and Uranus, they're in a trine. And so Pluto and Uranus move through a synodic cycle that I think is about 120 something years. They conjoined in 1966, 65, 66. Think about what's going on in the world. Think about all the uproarious nature in the world in 65, 66. One that gave us a whole bunch of messiahs and then killed them, black and white. They killed Bobby Kennedy, they killed Malcolm, they killed Martin Luther King, they killed Medgar Evers. They took out a whole bunch of people. Okay? And then they came, go back and watch my video, The Astrology of So-Called Black People, 1960s. I told you in the video that Star Trek comes out in 1966, and they say to boldly go where no man has gone before. They tricked everybody by making you think they were talking about going into outer space. They were talking about boldly going into inner space. And they were telling, they gave the manifesto. We're going to give you a template. Marching, voting, fighting, protesting. We're gonna feed you more of that. And while we got you doing that, we're going into the occult world. We're going into the hidden world to manipulate the future 100 years down the road, because that's how you do it. And so here we are, where the two planets that met up under that and created the energy that came out of, here they are in a trine right now, which is supposed to be a time of supreme understanding. Understanding the magic behind how those two are working. And to not be tricked about how people can use it to work you. Because Uranus is the internet and Pluto is the underworld. And this is the time where those who can use it correctly can create false narratives, because Neptune's in the picture, and Neptune creates illusion. Jupiter, which deals with our perspective and opinion, is in detriment in Gemini, which our perspective is supposed, wait a minute. Everybody going that way? Nah, let me go this way so I can get the other perspective on this. You should not be following where the herd is going. Individualism, Aquarius. Detachment. Detach in a healthy manner. Detach. Detach so you can figure out what your truth is. In the 60s too, I talked about this in the video on the 60s, astrology of black people. I talked about Marshall McLuhan, who wrote the book The Medium is the Massage. And so Reader's Digest version is that he's saying that the medium through which you get your information is massaging you. Or, what's a massage? You're rubbing. So in other words, it's kneading and it is moving. The massage moves blood. So the medium is massaging or moving your blood or moving your consciousness in a certain direction. He also says the medium is the message. So the medium through which you get whatever is going to be the actual message. And so the internet is the massage and it is the message. And the internet is determining what information you're privy to. The internet can wipe off information whenever the hidden force behind it decides to. The medium is the massage. So if you getting all your information from me or anybody else, God bless you. Because I'm going to tell you what you better be doing now. You better go out and be building up your library. And no, that is not to say that you're supposed to sit around and be a bookworm, but check it out. What do you think the book of Eli was about? You waiting on your favorite influencer to tell you which way to go. And what's going to happen is this thing is squeezing down and squeezing down and squeezing down. It's getting smarter and smarter and learning how to direct what information it wants to direct at said person, or to misdirect so that you don't get it. So if you're not doing things to enhance your own ability to think on your own and to intuit on your own, using both the left and right brain. Because if you use just one, either side, it's a form of retardation. You got to learn how to use both. So when you get a notion and something tells you don't go that way, that's not left brain, that's your right brain. Nah, listen, don't go. But on the same token, you can't live your whole life based on that. You know, you need balance. And the thing about a book is someone had to at least sit down and organize their thoughts to put this together. And the most valuable thing about a book is its bibliography, to where you can go and research where they got their stuff from. And you keep going further and further back to getting to primary sources and earlier, more rudimentary information. And then that, even at that, you don't take that as face value. What it does is it gives you more understanding to develop your own perspective and not be egotistical and think, I don't have to read nobody's book. Like, that's so, that you won't talk about ego. When we're living in a collective. So yeah, I want to see what somebody else had to say about this, and somebody else and somebody else. But then I also trust my own intuition to be able to eat the fish and spit out the bones. To not throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's the age of Aquarius. And that's what we emphasize in 720 Sacred Teachings. There are people in there who challenge me. Well, Jamal, I think we got to look more at the sidereal. And I'm like, well, okay, that's cool. But the fact that, see, I attract people who think. So thinking people are going to challenge each other intellectually. And that should be part of Because we are going to have to tribe up in the age of Aquarius, because you're going to have to detach more and more, because the world's going to get crazier and crazier. So when I use cult, it's in a connotative sense, because it's like a form of controlling people. But the other side of cult, which is still behavior culture, is a tribe or a nation. New nations will form within the so-called nation. Because what it's going to have to be is, it's going to have to be new groups of people who come together under a common respect. Not a dictatorship, not a communist or socialist perspective, but under common respect. There's a new church coming online too. That's why you have preachers, while the planet that rules preachers, which is Jupiter, while it's debilitated, preachers coming out and saying that certain scriptures in the Bible was actually talking about some form of man on man, or like Kirk Franklin twerking, T.D. Jakes twerking, So you see it's happening. The church is dissolving and a new church is forming, but it ain't one church. Church just means circle. New circles are forming. But as this other patriarchal run institution is dissolving, it's not going to go down without a fight. So everything going on now is ecclesiastical. It's still part of the church dying. Everything, from the AI to the election, everything is part of a dying church. As we're shifting from Pisces to Aquarius. Because last thing we want is humans actually having the wherewithal to take sovereignty over their souls. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, I missed a lot. Let's see. Nandi checked in. Hatepu, peace. So true. Aquarius rules groups, friendships, yet many of them can be loners, intense loners. Yep, I bear witness to that. Nandi also said Aquarius also rules math, numbers, science, indeed, because that's that Saturn aspect. Yes. Downside of Neptune is illusions. True. Might feel like the Pisces age again. True indeed. When either new to a room or displeased with what's in the room. Again, it has to make sense to Aquas for them. That's a fact. Let's see. Yeah, Malik Jabbar. Constituents, natural market in the house. Peace. Eric said constituents. Let's see. You've been thinking. Catherine says, I've been thinking of it as the age of authenticity. Individual authenticity in community. I like that. You can learn from many teachers. Keep what resonates. What'll help your journey. That's a fact. Follow your heart. What's the best advice to tell a 20-year-old man? Oh boy. The best advice is that, at 20, I was 20 in 1997. One, if you live long enough, you're going to get old. That's a guarantee. But maturity is a choice. Growing old is is inevitable if you live long enough, but maturity is a choice. And if you make the choice now to deliberately mature, as in, how do you do that? You become obsessed with knowing yourself. You become obsessed with self-knowledge. And if you can do that, you're already putting yourself on course for one of the major first milestones you're going to hit is 26, where your prefrontal cortex is more developed. And then that'll help you get ready for the next major milestone, which is around 28, 29, which is your Saturn return. When life is going to be like, hey, man, or hey, woman, whichever one, life's real. What have you built thus far, and what are you going to build? So right now, you can just be serious about knowing yourself and not being distracted by all the things that I was distracted by at 20. Oh boy. Then you are voting for yourself, for your own success and soul evolution in the future based on what you do right now at age 20. Let's see. Aries rules leadership. Is not the Aries age now. What rules? What likes phone Pisces age? Okay, I'm sorry if I did intrude. I enjoy your teachings. Dave helped me. Nah, this ain't no intrusion. This alive. This is open to the public. Help me understand who I am. I haven't been able to sign up for classes just yet. Well, I plan to, and well, right on, we'll be there. You come gem dropping and then take off. Oh, right on. That was great. Appreciate. All right. We're all caught up. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. I'm about to get ready to pick my little ones up. But know this: everything I say comes from a space of love. I believe that that every soul has the ability to evolve and become its absolute best. But we must break away from the herd mentality. And we must retire the word we. Because we will be straight when I work on me. We will be straight when I work on me. That's a t-shirt right there. Don't bite my shit. We will be straight when I work on... Wait, what I say? We will... I forgot that quick. We will be something when I work on me. Focus on it. I'm not saying being selfish. What I'm saying is be self-reflective. Be self-generated. And get over this thing of being lazy and wanting someone to deliver everything on a platter for you. You must put in your own work. You got to invest your time, invest your finances, invest your energy, invest your attention into your own self-actualization. And by doing so, you don't become a pollutant in the human atmosphere. Because as Neptune moves into Aries, Neptune can be toxins, and Aries is individual. So individuals can become the toxins if individuals are not working on themselves. So that's where we're closed with that. As always, you can reach me for private readings at my website, 720astrology.com, for coaching, for my classes, Sacred Teaching, that meet on Sundays, my book, The Bundle. These are two of the things that's in the bundle. There's 5 learning aids in there. My book, my booklet, my free guide to reading your own birth chart. They're all in the bundle. 720astrology.com. Know the stars to know yourself. Peace.